You want to be rich. Not just richer than you are today, not just a bigger paycheck or a fancier lifestyle. What you really want is freedom. You want to wake up in the morning and choose how you spend your time, not be dictated by deadlines, bills, or someone else's agenda. You want to feel secure, knowing that no matter what happens in the world, your family is safe, your future is stable, and your life is yours to design. You want independence, to leave on your terms, not anyone else's. That desire, it's not selfish. It's not greedy. It's human. And most importantly, it's real, achievable, attainable. But let's be honest, most people never get there. And it's not because they're not smart. It's not because they aren't working hard. In fact, most people are grinding every day just to stay afloat. The truth is, they were never shown how to truly build wealth. They were never given the blueprint. Instead, they were handed a script. Go to school, get good grades, land a safe job, and work for decades hoping it all works out. That script might give you a living, but it won't make you rich, not in the way that matters. Here's the problem. Wealth building isn't taught in school. It's not taught in most homes either. You're not shown how to manage money, multiply income, or build assets. What we're taught is how to earn and spend, how to chase credentials, collect stuff, and look successful, even if we're drowning in stress and debt behind the scenes. We live in a culture that glorifies consumption. Flashy lifestyles are broadcast as if the pinnacle of success. The luxury car, the designer brands, the dream vacations, all painted as symbols of having made it. But behind the curtain, many of those same people are struggling. They've traded time for image, real wealth for temporary applause. They're living paycheck to paycheck, even if the paycheck is six figures. Because real wealth, true wealth, isn't loud. It doesn't need to scream. It's quiet, patient, intentional. And it isn't an accident. It's not the result of luck, inheritance, or gifts. It's the outcome of a specific way of thinking, a deliberate set of habits, and a system followed over time. Wealth is a skill, one that can be learned. It's a mindset, one that can be adopted. And it's a journey, one that unfolds not in days or weeks, but over years. The most financially free people in the world didn't stumble into it. They made consistent decisions, took calculated risks, learned from failure, and stayed the course. And you can too. But before you chase any goal, you have to define it. Ask yourself, what does being rich mean to me? For some, it's luxury. Mansions, sports cars, five-star everything. For others, it's freedom, the ability to wake up without an alarm, work because you want to, not because you have to. Maybe for you, it's about making an impact, taking care of your family, giving back, supporting causes that matter, or building a legacy that outlives you. Whatever it is, your version of wealth must be personal. It must be rooted in meaning, because money without purpose is hollow. That's why so many high-income earners still feel unfulfilled. They're chasing numbers, not a vision. So before you start the journey, take time to decide, what does a rich life look like for me? That vision becomes your compass. You don't climb aimlessly. You build towards something real. From there, everything starts in the mind. The richest people think differently. They take ownership. They don't blame the government, the economy, their boss, or their background. They don't wait for permission or pray for luck. They look for opportunity. They believe in their capacity to grow, to learn, to adapt. They understand that success is earned through discipline, curiosity, and resilience. And they know that failure is, in the end, it's part of the process. To become rich, you must first become valuable, not just in your current role, but in the marketplace. That means sharpening your skills, improving your communication, learning how to lead, how to sell, how to solve problems creatively. It might mean studying after work, investing in courses, reading obsessively, or building something from scratch in your spare time. If you feel stuck in your job, that's your signal, not to complain, but to create. Build a side hustle. Start freelancing. Launch a brand, a service, a digital product, anything that solves a real need. We're living in the greatest era of opportunity. The internet has removed so many of the old barriers. You no longer need permission to start. You don't need a gatekeeper to reach people. But you do need the courage to begin imperfectly without all the answers, knowing you'll figure it out along the way. And while you build, remember, income is only part of the puzzle. Yes, you need to earn more, especially in the beginning. Because let's be honest, you can't save your way to wealth on a tiny income. Saving and budgeting matter, but if your engine is underpowered, the vehicle won't move far. So focus on increasing your income first, then learn to manage it. Because no matter how much you earn, if you spend more than you make, you'll always feel broke. That's why budgeting isn't about restriction, it's about intention. Track where your money goes. Cut out waste. Automate your savings so they happen without effort. Not because you're being cheap, but because every dollar you save is a brick in the foundation of your future. And every dollar you waste is time, freedom, and energy thrown away. Once you've got spending under control, shift your focus to investing. Saving protects your money. Investing multiplies it. If your cash just sits in a bank, inflation erodes its value over time. But when you invest in stocks, real estate, businesses, or other appreciating assets, your money starts to work for you. That's the real goal. Not just torn money, but to build a machine that earns it for you. This is the point where freedom begins. When your investments produce more income than your job, you're no longer dependent on a paycheck. You own your time. You call the shots. But investing requires patience. You don't need to be an expert. You don't need perfect timing. What you need is consistency. Start early. Stay in the game. Ignore the noise. Don't panic in downturns or chase hype in bubbles. Wealth is built in decades, not days. And while you grow, stay vigilant about debt. Not all debt is evil, but bad debt is a killer of wealth. Credit cards with high interest, car loans for flashy vehicles you can't afford, payday loans that trap you. These are the chains that keep people stuck. If you're already in debt, don't beat yourself up. Make a plan. Go out strategically. It's not about shame, it's about reclaiming control. Long term, you want to create multiple streams of income. Relying on a single source, especially one you don't own, is risky. Jobs change, economies shift, layoffs happen, but wealth is resilient when it's diversified. Build income that's active from your work and passive from your assets. That way, your finances aren't just earning. They're re-evolving into a system that supports you with or without your daily effort. As your wealth grows, protect it. Have insurance, not just for your health, but your income, your assets, your family. Build an emergency fund so one crisis doesn't destroy years of progress. Use legal entities to guard your assets. Work with advisors who help you minimize taxes and preserve what you've earned. Because what you keep matters more than what you make. But even the best plan can be sabotaged by the wrong environment. Who you spend time with affects everything. If you're constantly surrounded by people who are stuck, bitter, or small-minded, it will limit you. But when you find others who are ambitious, curious, focused, it pulls you forward. Join communities, find mentors, share ideas, learn together, grow together. Your network becomes your net worth, not just in dollars, but in mindset. And above all, stay patient. Wealth doesn't happen fast. You'll have setbacks. You'll make bad calls. You'll lose money. You'll doubt yourself. That's normal. The difference between those who win and those who don't is simple. The winners don't stop. They learn, they adjust, and they keep going. And when you get there, when you have freedom, abundance, and peace, don't keep it all to yourself. Use your wealth to lift others. Support your family. Help your community. Mentor someone just starting out. Donate. Create. Give back. That's how wealth becomes something bigger than you. That's how it becomes a legacy. In the end, being rich isn't just about having more. It's about being more. It's about becoming someone who is calm under pressure, clear in purpose, and generous in spirit. It's about waking up without fear and going to sleep without regret. It's about having the power to say no to what doesn't matter and yes to what truly does. So if you're asking how to be rich, what you're really asking is, how do I live fully, deeply, and freely? And the answer starts with a plan, a mindset, a decision to begin. No matter where you are right now, You can build it. You just have to believe it's possible and refuse to quit until it's real.